All right, let's do this thing. Fast lane, fast lane, fast lane. Indianapolis, Indiana. Big show, 5 matches. Obviously, a lot going on the show tonight. But first, let my calls introduce themselves for today's review.
Yes, yes. Man, this is Straight Face 40. I'm glad to be back on the show. I really enjoyed last night. Last night was a fun show. I really didn't have too many disappointments. But yes, I really enjoyed the show.
Definitely good stuff. Fast lane. I did like the show. Yeah, let's definitely get right into it. I didn't watch much of the pre-show. I was a little late coming into the show. The only thing I saw from the pre-show was best address this now was Jade Cargill arriving to the building, which she did get to keep her name. It looked like she was kind of showing up for a match, getting out of the car, but she had like the
Hey,
paparazzi and Triple H showing up to greet her.
yeah, I was wondering. I didn't get to see the pre-show, so I only saw I saw that during the before the match, before the women's match. And I was looking like, oh wow, okay, then now we about to step into the era, uh, WWE era, let's see how this fold. But they already treated her like a star. They already rolled it out the red carpet for her, and she looked incredible yesterday. And she already looked like a star. We already said that part already. But they really got hot. They really high on her for real. They very high on her. So she must be, doing some major moves down there at the performance center, and they don't have no problem moving her up to the main roster right away.
Yes, because she is supposedly going to Monday Night Raw, so she doesn't even really have to go through NXT. She's already going to be going to the main roster, so you know the WWE has a lot invested into Jade right now, and as you said, they look at her as already being a big star. So you already know they got big plans for her right now, and you know even having Triple H there, greet her in that thing that video of her getting out the car. You know they got big plans for her. So I think it's gonna be looking really big for Jade right now.
Yeah, I don't have no problem with it. I actually can't wait to see it. It's gonna give it a new look. Probably gonna see it tomorrow night. If if they already showing it on TV, especially on TV with her gear. So I think we probably see her at no later than tomorrow, probably tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw.
That's true. They have been talking about her a lot on commentary in recent weeks, and now that she actually has been shown on TV, and like I said before, she is still Jade Cargill. So no new name, same Jade. So we'll definitely see if she does show up on Monday Night Raw on Monday. So best to watch out for that. But let's get right into the first match. The tag team titles on the line. Cody Rhodes, whoa, that crowd thing, and Jay Uso versus the Judgment Day, Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Um, Hell of an opener, and kind of surprised too. Didn't change, especially for a team on the. Pretty
I,
surprised by
I
that.
I was very surprised by the title change. The match was a good match. And everything, everything that happened, it made sense. JD came out, hit Damian Priest with in the leg with the money in the bank. That was really was the downfall. That was the downfall of the match for the Judgment Day. And Cody Rhodes said, "Made the bitch Jey Uso win the undisputed tag team championship." And kind of shocking and surprised everybody. And the crowd went nuts. They were stupid.
Oh yeah.
were very surprised too. Um, yeah, I don't have no problem with it either. That's the crazy part about it. I really don't have a problem with it. It's a part of the storyline. It keep a reason why the Judgment Day would still be after Cody and Jay. It's a reason why. So I don't have no problem with it.
Yeah, because given all the Judgment Day was out there, I knew it was going to be a lot of shenanigans going on, and I already kind of felt like Cody and Jay weren't going to win anyways due to just multiple Judgment Day interferences and whatnot. But nah, I was actually surprised that the tables had turned here and they won the tag team titles. So I'm like, wow. I'm like, I like everybody saying now, well, Cody, man, he must have finished the story now because he already has a title belt. So he didn't win the
Nah,
world one yet, but yeah, he won the tag team titles here. So I really didn't expect him to actually, especially him and Jey Uso, for a team that was literally just formed on their first try.
it's a
Which
storyline.
is
It
part
ain't
yes,
really right.
it's, it's part of the story. And I thought this was kind of funny. I know we talked about this earlier, but I think it's kind of funny. People have brought up like what literally an hour before the show. It's like we had another team on their first try. On AEW with Starks and Big Bill beating FTR. Now another team on WWE on their first try just win the tag team titles. I'm like deja vu in a way.
You can say it, and but I think it's two different paths though. With one, it keeps the storyline keep moving. The other is just it was kind of out of nowhere. Like you did not, you really did not expect them to win. You kind of gave you, even though it probably be a few people that say they kind of gave Jay and Cody Rhodes a chance, but it still makes sense though.
Yeah, it still did because, like we said before, and like I said, both these two are definitely just over as hell right now. Also, especially Cody. Like, come on, like the whole crowd was just singing his theme song on SmackDown a cappella. Like they just knew all of it. Like just super over. So yes, it does go to story and show more dissension in the Judgment Day. Also due to JD McDonuts out there, a hidden priest with the briefcase and whatnot. So it does have to do like with more of the story. But I was pretty surprised that they won here. So I really did not expect that to happen. I did like that 1D Cody cutter they did also. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, that was cool. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was I did like that.
And I think it'll be interesting now because a lot of people bringing up what are Kevin and Sammy gonna think of this now, given that obviously Kevin and them they don't. Well, Sammy trusts Jey Uso, but now that since they couldn't win the tag titles back from Judgment Day, but Cody and Jay were able to get the tag team titles, a lot bring up will it be Kevin and Sammy kind of getting involved now?
Of course, you're gonna have to put them involved. You're gonna have to get them involved. We're trying to get to Survivor Series, so you're gonna have to get them involved some way somehow.
Yeah, like how will they react to it and whatnot. So it's gonna happen. But yeah, I really did not expect this to happen. The crowd loved it, um, and whatnot. It just kind of felt crazy. Like wow, a tag team that was just formed just won the tag team titles right here. Jey Uso, 9-time tag team champion now. Cody. Well, I don't know how many times he's been tag team champion in the past before, but probably the first set of titles he's had since he's came back to this company.
Yeah, those are his first titles that he had since coming back.
Yeah, so like it's mostly been focusing on the world title, but yeah, he won the tag team titles with Jey Uso. So definitely a surprising outcome right there. But a hell of a match though. Very good. Um, very good match. So we'll see what happens next with that.
I was,
Uh, go ahead.
I, and I was like, I was on Facebook as I was watching the match and everything, and you know how you had your AEW fans over here, talking crazy like, oh man, they put Cody Rhodes on the first match and boom, and I have to explain to them, well, this how you know the card is good. Well, you could put the two most over act, Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes, and the most over heel act together at the first match of the night. so you already know the rest of the night is going to be good, which it was. So, which we about to go into another match. What match we about to go into first? I did forget the second match. I ain't gonna lie to you, but what was the?
Yes, because moving on, going to the next match was the Pizza Hut match. Rey Mysterio, man, he's always in these advertisement matches one way or another. Because they already show like what
Pause.
Woods, Booker T, and Barrett in the back talking about Pizza Hut, and now we got a Pizza Hut match. So it was Bobby Lashley and Street Profits versus the LWO, Rey Mysterio, Santos Escobar, with a mystery partner and Cosplay Vega out there with him.
This match was actually a decent match, and I wasn't surprised. You know, all five of those guys could go, and I'm impressed with all five of those guys. But that match was a good. They had the crowd screaming from start to finish, and then especially at the finish when you got Carlito coming in as your special guest. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my god, it was Carlito that he came out that he went to go call. Man, and that match was actually, like I said, it was good. I definitely enjoy myself watching it. Um, Carlito coming
I
back.
had a feeling it was going to be. Go ahead.
I said it was a good pop. Soon as they saw Carlito name on the thing, they just went nuts. They started doing backwards flips. They
Oh
went
yeah,
crazy, man.
crowd was hot for Carlito because we haven't seen Carlito since Backlash,
Yeah.
and that was the last time we saw him with the LWO. And a lot of people say he was signed to. Wait, we already know he's been signed. I was just wondering when he was ever going to show back up on TV, and this was the time to bring him because I either thought it was going to be Carlito that was going to come out there, or I thought it was going to be Dragon Lee. Those were the only two I
I
kind of
don't.
really thought of.
I ain't think Dragon Lee because you gonna call some. Why you gonna call that nigga Dragon Lee? He right there. He was in the building. He just had a match on Friday. That against Austin Theory. So nah, it wouldn't make no sense. But at the same time, I know melodramatic Ray. He'll make everything melodramatic. I gotta make a call. Who you calling? Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee is just around the corner. but But Rey Mysterio, that was a good. That was a good one with Carlito coming back. Like you said, he was saying we was all waiting for it, and when we gonna see him again. And that boy, we seen him again, and it was cool. It was good.
It was good, yeah, because Carlito coming back, he had new music and everything too. So Carlito looks
Like
great.
I don't like him.
Yeah,
I
I'm
just
not liking the new music. Yeah, when I heard the new music, I'm like, eh. I was expecting to hear a spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
man, I was expecting that too. I'm like, man, what is this new music? I'm like, nah, I don't like this.
It,
Nah.
it sounded pretty lame. Like I don't like it already. Like I still don't even really like even with the LWO in a way as a whole with their music too. I'll say this: I kind of wish they would have just brought the old one back from WCW.
Yeah, this new reggaeton rap stuff they have. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm good. I'm good, man. They can keep that, put that right back in the vault, whatever they got it from. I don't like it. And most of these theme songs, anyway, it's only a handful of theme songs I really like nowadays, but most of these theme songs are kind of whack.
Oh, I agree. A lot of the theme songs are whack in WWE right now. Like, trust me, they do sound pretty lame. That's why I never really liked the new LWO. It was like, okay, we'll play Viva La Raza first, Eddie's signature thing, and then it's like we'll just give you, like you said, it's like reggaeton type of music, and I'm like, can we just give them the old music back? Like, I'd rather just gone with that. It seemed cooler, uh, on WCW back then with the old LWO music, and I know it's a new LWO because, like, if you when you think about it with the LWO, years ago, it was basically everybody, more, how can I say this? The mission statement was they weren't really getting used enough on WCW, and they formed their own crew, all the luchadors and whatnot. Like I said, the only difference here, I feel like they added more like Puerto Rican and the new LWO, not just Mexican and whatnot, because that's what it was technically before. Shit, people. I remember people was going on about DJZ being in the LWO because, like, that guy's Filipino, right? And
Yeah, yeah,
people,
that's true. Like that is true. But it's like it was just only Mexicans. Now they have let it and let it all type of races go inside this group. You don't even have to be Latino anymore.
like, you even gotta be Latino to be in there. It's like, all right, Puerto Rican, we'll let you in. It reminds me when LAX kind of did it a few years ago when LAX came back and whatnot, because it was
Philip,
still
Philip,
Latin, but it kind of had Puerto Rican in there also, or Cuban.
I right now it's just a marketing tool. It's just selling merchandise right now. Yeah, that's what it really. That's how it looking to me. It's just what it is. It's like it's selling merch.
It sells merch. We'll just sell the T-shirts and WCW because it was back then. I just look at all the members. Sometimes it's like they're trying to make this work, and as I know Carlito because they took out the other two on Friday and whatnot, and that's when they made the call Carlito. Because like when you think of LWL, sometimes I feel like the only people that really matter is either Ray, Santos, and Vega. Even though Vega, and I get that's her thing because we know that's online and stuff, but Vega always looked like she's going to an anime convention.
And she like I understand. I understand you as a cosplay and stuff, but I don't think cosplay should be your gimmick. If you feel what I'm saying, like I just feel like cosplay should not be your gimmick. I just feel like it. And then to be to be blunt, I'm not going to even talk about being honest. Just be blunt about what's going on with Vega. Anyway, she's only over because she hot. Like that's the only reason why. Like she not really that. She not like she okay in the ring. Like I don't really see a Vega match and like, oh, she she was cold. Like no, she only reason why she's over because most guys look at her Twitter. I mean Twitch, whatever she thing, whatever she does. What streaming service she does? I know she do some type of
I think it
screen.
was
I mean
Twitch.
Twitch, yeah, and with the cosplay thing, and a lot of wrestling fans are into cosplay and cosplaying. Like that's the only reason why she over. Like she not, I don't know, she bland to me, man. Like she not excited. She don't do anything for me, man. I don't know.
I do sometimes feel like Vega's there, and I feel like she kind of somewhat looks kind of opposite out of the group because even I be sitting there look like so. I look at Ray and Santos, and they somewhat got the cool gear on or the suits, and then I look at Vega. It's like it's sexy anime time for her. Like I said,
Yeah,
I get that's her thing. I get it's her thing, but it just kind of looks, you know, off-putting from the rest of the LWO.
yeah, it does.
So I always thought like that's how I feel about it. And like I said, I feel like the only people that kind of matter is just Ray and Santos. So unless Carlito's gonna be finally sticking around, then he will too. That's if he's here all the time. Because they say he signed a contract the last time what I heard. So all I can say is we'll see. But they got the win here. Maybe Lashley will get mad at the Street Profits for losing again. We'll see. And they gave Cole and Graves Pizza Hut right after because we got to keep promoting Pizza Hut.
Yep.
Right.
That was the advertisement of the night. Pizza
Yep.
Hut.
Rey Mysterio, man, they love putting him in advertisement matches.
Because he get the most eyeballs. All right, he gonna get the most eyeballs out of the most. I mean, out of the whole card, he gonna get the most eyeballs.
Yep. The man is like over, so they know people will watch Rey Mysterio. But next, right after that, we did have a triple threat match for the women's title. Io Shirai versus Asuka versus Charlotte.
That
Um,
was that was a good match. It hit.
it was
What
good. I
you?
feel like it got botchy towards the end.
It, I had a problem with. It wasn't even a boxing to me. You know what I got a problem with?
What's your problem with it?
I'm tired of the whole Charlotte flip the whole corkscrew moonsault, whatever she used to do. I mean, she used to do the corkscrew. Now she just do a regular moonsault. And I'm tired of it now. I really, really get tired of it. You know what I'm saying? And
I
this is
always feel
really
like she
I get
misses it half
tired.
the time.
What do you say?
I always feel like she misses it half the time when she does the move.
Because she's trying not to land on them. That's the only thing. She trying not to land on them, and she's trying to land on her feet at the same time.
Yep, that's the
Like,
most thing about her moonsault. She always lands on her feet and doesn't really
yeah,
hit anybody.
it shows great athleticism. Don't get me wrong, but here's the thing: I'm just tired of it because I'm tired of the whole contrived thing. It looks so set up, and it's like, and she take all day with it. I mean, when I say all day, she takes all day with it. She got to set herself up. It look like if we go have remember remember when we used to when we said I think we said it when we talk about Hangman out of page backwards. I mean moonsault onto the outside ring. If we gonna say something about his move, I know we got to say something about hers because that's it. That's the same thing. That's the exact same thing. Why we waited all day for you to set yourself up so you can do a moonsault. Other than that, I ain't really had too much problem with it. Like you said, I said it's starting to get a little boshy towards the end, but it kind of made it look, it kind of we could. It's one of those couple of botches that you can overlook because it was such a good match.
Yes. Can I also add on that it looked like the crowd was starting to turn on Charlotte?
Man, look, here's the thing because they didn't want her to win, and they thought that she was going to win. Real talk. They thought she was going to win, but luckily I kind of figured she wasn't going to win. They gave her a lot, so I knew she wasn't going to be one, and she wasn't going to win. And I knew, and I called it when I was talking to my cousin. I like Charlotte's going to be the one who get pinned because they gave her a lot.
Oh
So
yeah.
it wasn't going to be Oscar that got pinned. No, it was going to be Charlotte who got pinned.
Because
And so
Asuka got pinned back at SummerSlam.
right. So it's cool, they had that. That was kind of a good, a um a good setup. Cause you kind of figured like, man, hold on, wait a second. They gave Charlotte a lot. Charlotte was whooping both of them at the same time. You doing double team moves on them. Yeah, she was whooping them at one point.
Yep, they make Charlotte look strong out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't get me wrong, but they everybody thought that she was gonna win, and so that's the reason why they were about to start turning. I felt it too, but I didn't think she was gonna win.
I do agree. Yeah, I feel like EO was gonna retain. EO's gonna retain one way or another. So I kind of had a feeling about that. Like, hold on, not surprised by that. So yeah, I definitely had a feeling she was gonna retain. Bailey gets involved. Obviously, it was gonna be some type of screwy finish, but it's like you said with Charlotte. That Charlotte's always somewhat in the title picture all the time. Like she doesn't even have to earn a title shot. She'll just be in there just because, one way or
Hmm.
another. She always is in the main title picture. Like she's gonna be in it no matter what. And either she's gonna win or it's gonna be some type of screwy finish where she will lose. So they gotta, make her look strong as possible. Even right here, just in this whole triple threat, make sure Charlotte looks strong as possible in this match, even though she doesn't win. And like I said, Bailey got involved, distraction, and EO still retained. So I'm not surprised EO still retained the title, but I did notice the crowd was really starting to turn on Charlotte out there because they seen it so many times. And like none against Oscar also, but Oscar's in a way just kind of, I'm not saying she was just there and whatnot, where it's like you knew
No,
she wasn't gonna win also.
I wouldn't say she was that there because she played a good part of that match, a nice chunk of
Oh
that
yeah.
match. She took Charlotte out in the first part of that match with the miss, so she
Yep,
she
right to
played.
get
Yeah, she played a big part of that. I mean,
Yep.
like I said, I enjoyed that match. That match was very good. I just had that one problem. It's a nitpick, really. It's a problem that's not going to go away until Charlotte started losing her athleticism. Until then, she gonna keep on doing the moonsaults off the top rope. So I might as well just eat crow and just deal with it.
Yeah, so Charlotte's there all the time. So yeah, EO retains. So obviously, Damage Control gets involved one way or another. Right after that, obviously they're gonna keep promoting NXT for this Tuesday, since we're just sending everybody to NXT this Tuesday, and we know why. But yeah, we got we got Cena, we got Heyman, we got Asuka, and a match with Roxy for some reason. We got who else is showing up to NXT this oh yeah, we got Cody Rhodes on NXT. And now we got the Undertaker headed to NXT due to the gong at the end of the NXT promo commercial. What do you think about
Well,
this stacked up NXT? They're throwing all the big guns.
I mean, they try. They go. They want to crush them.
It's
Basically, that's all they want to do. They want to crush them. They just want to show their superiority. Like, man, we got the big stars. No matter where or what, no matter where we at, we still gonna have the big stars and everything. We're gonna end up winning the rating war because it's all about the rating war. And anybody who don't think it is, you out of your rabbit ass mind. To think it's not about the rating wars. It's clearly about the rating wars.
Oh yeah, because this whole thing Tuesday, yeah, they going to war like, oh, you got Edge? Oh, we got all these guys. And they are just bringing in as many big people as they can. Don't get me wrong, we've seen a lot of main roster people on NXT as it is lately, anyways. Like, come on, Becky's the champion down there, and
Yeah,
whatnot. But
they threw out. They threw John Cena down. John Cena,
John
like,
Cena,
come on, man.
we gonna give
Come,
you Cena, we gonna give you Cody, we giving you Oscar, we giving you Heyman. But like the fact that you like the main people really like the fact that we giving you Cena, Cody, and the Undertaker. The Undertaker. Like you throwing the dead man on this show. I'm
right.
like, oh man, y'all really want to kill these guys, don't y'all? I'm like, and you know what's so funny? I talked to somebody earlier in the day, my friend, like say he like sent me a photo because somebody made like a thing on Facebook, almost just like a little like parody, like joking around saying the Undertaker will be on NXT. It was like a joke. Then hours later, we found out he's really going to NXT this Tuesday. So
Man, crazy. Like, you can see what they trying to do, and let's see if we're gonna pay off. I feel
oh,
like
it's
he's
still
gonna
gonna
pay
pay
off.
off.
Ain't no ifs or buts about it. I think he's gonna pay off.
Oh yeah, shit. Nowadays they really trying to make NXT like a, well, according to Nick Khan, and they want to try to make it like a third brand. Even though I don't really see it like that all the way, but they've said this before, so they are putting in a lot to NXT right now. Like shit, didn't they just beat AEW in viewership like literally last week? So that kind of tells you something.
Yeah.
So they got a lot invested, but even I'm like, damn, who else about to show up on here? Like, what is The Rock gonna be there next? Is what Brock Lesnar gonna be on NXT? Is Stone Cold gonna be on NXT? Hell, we'll give you Goldberg. Let's throw Brett there. Like, well, I'm like, man, how many people y'all trying to put on this show? That's loaded. That's like overkill, damn near.
That is overkill. I feel like it is overkill. I think they should tone it down a bit. They could have. They really could just tone it down a bit. They ain't need all those guys down there. That's why I really
Triple
think
H looking for war.
huh?
Triple H looking for war.
I think yeah, I think he looking for war, and that's what they gonna get. The only reason why look here's the thing. Here's the thing. The reason why it gonna work significantly because on the simple fact that AEW moved up a day, where NXT that's a regular day. So it's like people gotta remind themselves, oh man, AEW is on Tuesday this week, not on Wednesday. It's like probably the faithful gonna remember, but that's just that's just see it the casuals, the guys who don't really watch. I mean, who watch AEW like that, but they already follow it. Let's
True.
see it be the ones who go turn on the show Tuesday. But like I said, it should be a fun night. I'm really looking forward to it. I ain't gonna lie to you. So yeah,
Oh yeah, so I said Triple H is looking back. He's looking for payback since the Wednesday Night War from a couple years ago. He's like, "Oh, you think you can beat me in the ratings? Oh yeah, it's payback time."
yeah, it really is. To be honest with you, they only won because they were the new thing on the block. I always felt like that because once everything settled, the dust was settled. They started losing viewership. They really started losing the key demo. And NXT is back on the rise. Actually, if you look at the ratings, they're back on the rise. And It's
I
like it's like yeah, AEW been falling off ever since people really started seeing what they was all about.
True, and I have to agree on that because in the past when this whole war thing happened, NXT had a lot of names, even though now we see a lot of these people that were on NXT before and now are on AEW. Now they already had like some names down there. It's just now with NXT, and I'll admit they have gotten better and they've been on the rise. It's almost like now you really are kind of losing to the developmental league. Like, don't get me wrong, there was still people developmental from, the black and gold era of NXT, but a lot of these people were already names and have already been doing this for almost like what 10, 15 years and been all over the place. Nowadays with NXT, these are like literally developmental people. Maybe a couple of people you may have seen on the indies, and that's very small amount of few, but a lot of these people we see now, right now in NXT, ever since this whole new one began, these are all developmental guys, literally.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
And now
and
they've been on the rise lately.
so like but like you said, like we was talking before we started recording, the reason why they really truly lose is because they 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 a company that give you matches, but they don't give you a reason of why to watch the matches.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier between matchmaking and booking. Like we're throwing matches, just not a lot of reason to it. And
Right.
NXT, right now, and I'll say this, I know Shawn Michaels been mostly in charge of this. And I tried to, a lot of people bring up the difference between the Triple H version of NXT with the black and gold and, with Shawn, is to say with Shawn, he's been developing more of, characters and whatnot. Like you still have matches, but they've developed, characters and gimmicks and whatnot. Some good, some bad. Some say with NXT with Triple H was mostly more about matches.
Yeah.
So it's a different NXT. So I'll admit they've gotten better. Not perfect. I'm not gonna sit and say because I'll admit I still probably like the black and gold over this one, but I'm willing to admit the new one has gotten better throughout time.
Yeah. That's all I give them props for. I give them props for trying to get better. And that's what they look like they doing.
Like there's some things I like and there's some things I don't like. Like some gimmicks and some there's a lot of people that are pretty over that we've seen on the the current one. We've seen people like Braun Breaker. We've seen people like, Dragunov, even though I kind of feel like he was more from the black and gold era side or the UK one. We've seen people on the rise like Tiffany Stratton or Carmelo Hayes or Trick Williams and whatnot. So it's, we've seen people gotten bigger and whatnot. Don't get me wrong, there's still some gimmicks that are still pretty bad down there. The mafia, forget about it. Or, the GTA NPC niggas we seen on there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, most definitely. But at the same time, they looking on they on the rise, and
So yeah,
that let's just look at it like that for right now.
Yep. So we'll see what happens this Tuesday, but I do believe NXT is gonna kill AEW in the ratings though. But next we got Pat McAfee out there. Obviously Indianapolis. He played for the Indianapolis Colts. He was a punter, and definitely putting over Indianapolis and trying to talk about we could bring WrestleMania here, and he's back on commentary because we just saw Pat McAfee not that long ago on SmackDown with The Rock, like what, a few weeks ago and everything. But given this is Indianapolis, he wanted to make this big. So yes, he was on commentary for the next match with Uso, the blood. What was that? I heard a beep. But no, like I said, this tag match here, good tag match. I got a lot to say about it. I know it's mostly Cena taking a lot of the heat out there in the match, and LA Knight coming in with the big hot tag, doing the big moves and stuff. So I'm not really surprised who won here. And how can I say this? Cena hitting the five knuckle shuffle on Jimmy, and then what? What's the move LA Knight does? The blunt force trauma for the finish or whatnot. And then Heyman is just on his phone looking real worried and stuff. Try to say call Roman Reigns and everything. So it's not much I can say about this match other than the star power in this match between Cena and LA Knight.
Um, a few days, I wanted to say Pat McAfee. It felt like all day I've been watching. I was watching that man all day yesterday, and from the morning for watching college game day on ESPN. Then I was watching this later on and pay. I mean, not payback. FastLane. Watching it that later on. It kind of made me feel like, man, I've been watching this nigga all day, but 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 a fun match. It was. It was definitely fun. The crowd was in it. My goodness, boy, you felt the
They were hot.
you felt it through your TV how in it they was, and they was super in it. I was very surprised they gave LA Knight the hot tag because they Cena Cena barely did anything but still.
Yeah,
That's
he
all.
mostly sold. He took all the heat in this match basically until he made the
Yeah,
hot tag.
and the hot tag will give it to the man who was on the rise. So I really like it WWE how they really embracing the fact that he's over.
Oh yeah, they really have been doing that because like we gotta remember also like hey, this is the first time we've seen John Cena really wrestle since WrestleMania. And
WrestleMania, yeah.
yeah, and I like so all he really did here was to see the sell and didn't hit his hit his usual stuff or kept trying to go for the FU and it kept getting interrupted by either Solo or Jimmy out there. Because like nowadays, we got Cena more often nowadays, mostly due to the whole Hollywood, well, it's the actor strike. I guess the writer strike is over, but due to the actor strike still going on with no end in sight right now, we get Cena every week. So this isn't like a one-time thing. It almost felt like Cena never left because we see him on SmackDown every week. So he back. Okay, so we see him every time now. So I don't think this is going to end anytime soon. So he's here for the foreseeable future. So yeah, we should be thanking that Hollywood strike for going on right now, given everything that's going on. So yeah, we should be thanking them in a way. So yeah, Hollywood, yeah, we already know you're putting out bad movies. Disney, I'm looking at you, but that's a different conversation for another day. But yeah, we got Cena back every week.
Yeah. And like I said, I really enjoyed this match. It was a fun match. It's gonna play into the storyline. Roman Reigns coming back on Friday Night SmackDown. Jimmy Uso was the one who got pinned, so you most definitely looking at that when it comes down on Friday. But yeah, man, um, I I really like this push that LA Knight getting. You already know I've been a big fan of his for a minute. So seeing this, I really like, yeah, I really liked it. I really like it this push. But like I said, fun match, not too bad. There ain't really no crazy stuff going on. It was just a solid match to get the crowd going. Star power. You got all the stars right there. Good
Yeah.
little match.
Yeah, basically that's all I can. Yeah, sure. That's all you can really say about this match. And obviously, like I said before, it'll play in the SmackDown Friday with Roman returning and Jimmy, kind of inserting himself back in the bloodline, which I feel like a lot of that has been funny with him and Heyman. Like, hey man, this is what we going to do, right? And then Heyman's like, no, what are you talking about? Like, no, like no. He's like, yeah, right. And him, I still think it's funny with him and Solo, him trying to dap Solo up and Solo just
Yeah,
kind of freaking out and
was a
walking off.
Yesterday was the funniest. So man, when he was trying before they started the match, he went up for that handshake. Solo must looked at him and hopped out the ring, and so we could start the match. And then he didn't even notice though. He looks over like, oh, hey, okay. He's like, man, I like it. I really like the whole storyline with Jimmy. And everybody not really messing with Jimmy, but at the same time, Jimmy thinking everybody messing with him though.
And I like how Heyman just kind of like tells Solo like, no, don't listen to him. Listen to me. Don't listen to him. Like he like just listen to me. All right, don't mind him. He there right now. So I think it's gonna be something once Roman come back on Friday.
Yeah, it gonna be something. So,
That
but
yeah, but definitely looking forward to that. And they said next gonna be they said it's gonna be the White Rock versus Kevin Nash coming soon. Everybody said Nash apparently signed a deal, so everybody said, we could be seeing Kevin Nash versus LA Knight. People now think this is a work now, given that we've seen Kevin Nash bury LA Knight for the longest time now, calling him the White Rock, and has just been going in on him lately.
no, I don't think it's a work. I mean, I don't think it's a work. I really actually think that he don't really like LA Knight, and he really think it's a White Rock. So I don't think I don't think it's a work at all.
And I said, why would this be a work? And then Nash is online saying, yeah, man, I talked to Triple H and everything too. Yeah, how much we got to pay this guy? He kind of basically said he talked to him saying that Triple H doesn't think he's over because click, 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 folks. So yeah, and then Nash he's really been going in on him. Like, yeah, man, I was just waiting for finally, White Rock. Like, he's really burying him nowadays.
Yeah, but it ain't working. It ain't working.
I don't think it's
He,
working. So now people think it's going to be a match. I'm like, I'd highly doubt that. So yeah, but now we go on to the main event. Um, also, which is now going to be Seth Rollins, Shinsuke Nakamura, last man standing match. One thing I guess we could point out here right now, we're not going to get a Money in the Bank cash. It's not 100%, so we're not going to rush. We're not going to rush the Money in the Bank thing. So that's kind of one important thing to pull off because a lot of people thought he was going to be cashing in, but I think, like I said, they already showed that, so we know that wasn't going to happen. I see they showed Shane's kid in the crowd. Um, he didn't He didn't do the running thing with the shoes, so now I gotta remember this wasn't Shane McMahon out here with Shane's kid, who had a title belt. But yes, the main event, last man standing match. Gotta say, some pretty brutal spots out there. Did I think Nakamura was ever gonna win?
no.
Not really. And I know they've been playing into the whole Seth's back, his back, like how much can his back really hold up in this match. I will say they did it go in and all out as much as they could in here. So I never thought Seth Rollins was gonna lose here. I don't get what Seth Rollins was dressed as this week as a what was he supposed to be? He looked like one of the magician guys.
He looked like a whole genie out there. Like what? I don't know what he was trying to go for.
Yeah, I don't know what Seth was dressed as, but obviously he was going to get a lot of weapons in this match: tables, trash cans, nunchucks, um, ladders, kendo sticks, a lot of crazy stuff in this match. I did like when Nakamura did miss Seth and then knocked him onto the announce table and put him through it. and then throw him back in the ring and hit him with a Kinshasa like head first into the table. That did look pretty brutal. And they're fighting in the crowd, knocking each other off of ledges. Like, it's a lot of stuff to put in this match that just a lot of hardcore elements throughout here. But once it kind of got near the end and they fought back into the crowd onto like a ledge, then Seth's hitting a pedigree, then a curb stomp, and then hit a Falcon Arrow threw like some tables out there, and then Seth made it up before the 10 count, and Nakamura fell back to the ground, and Seth won, celebrated with the fans, and that was the end of the show.
I thought the match started off, even though they were trying to call themselves, trying to pull up the matting on the outside of the ring, and they were trying to do all these type of spots. I just felt like the match started off just like just didn't start off the right way. It just felt off to me. It felt like they they were doing a lot of spots to try to keep the fans going, but it didn't make any sense. You get what I'm saying? It went 100 miles per hour right off the back, but with a whole bunch of spots that didn't really make sense. Then they started settle it down in the middle, and it started really making sense. Shinsuke over here doing everything to the back, every move into the back. It ain't no wasted movement. I really, from the middle to the end, I started liking the match. That was just that beginning. That beginning, it just didn't capture me. But that middle and the end, I definitely did like that match. It was brutal, and we all kind of figured that Seth was going to retain. They threw us a fastball by telling us, oh yeah, Damian Priest is not going to be cashing in his money in the bank with that little segment with him and Rhea Ripley. But like I said, the the match wasn't too bad, and it was a good match. And the whole night was good. So yeah,
Yeah, it was a pretty good show. Like, it wasn't a bad show, and the main event, it was good. But yeah, like I said, we all knew Seth was gonna win. It was a pretty good brutal match out there. Like I said, it got better later in time because the story is that can Seth Rollins' back hold up throughout this match. I will say I've enjoyed heel Nakamura. Adding the subtitles definitely was a great element, which I don't know why they didn't use subtitles a long time ago. But I felt like that has helped a lot. But like I said, I have enjoyed heel Nakamura. I just didn't think he was ever gonna win the title from here.
no,
And it's
no,
good. It is actually good to see Seth in a main event twice in a row because we're used to Roman being in the main event or not even having a champion at all on this show.
yeah,
Because
that
we ain't seen Roman in damn near what 3 months.
yeah, and look, me and my cousin were talking about this like a couple of weeks ago. And I like at first I was on the side of, oh man, we all allow him to do too many shows. He a main attraction, all that stuff. But here's the thing: I grew up with main attractions, bro, and you did too. We both grew up with main attraction, and they came and they wrestled every single week. If they didn't wrestle every single week, they came in and did a segment. It was something. We saw The Rock. We saw Soul Cold every single week, bro. It was not a week unless they were injured.
Yep, and it's a lot of guys we could say main event big stars. Like, come on, we see Cena every week, seen
We
Triple H
seen
every week.
we saw these guys. So I at first I was on the side of, oh yeah, he had made a traction. We shouldn't be booking him. But at the same time, like, man, nah, bro. It been about 3 months, like you just said. 3 months.
Yeah, and it's like, was he even injured or is he just not on TV just because?
On TV just because. I swear it's just because, bro.
Yeah, because like we already talked about what happened in SummerSlam, and like I'm not gonna go back to that because I already said enough of how bad that match was, and that was like two separate things. Like we talked about it, and like Steven would tell you the same thing of how bad that was, and how he's just kind of gotten tired of the story at this point. But listen, I get it's padding days if you want to go there to adding on to this whole like title streak thing and whatnot. We already passed 1,000 days, but it's like this, like, we ain't seen this guy on TV in like 3 months. Okay, so like you ain't even had the champion on this show, and some feel like, maybe that's why we got Cena back to somewhat kind of like, okay, here's our other big star too. We ain't got Roman on here, so now we got Cena back on TV and whatnot. Because we ain't, like I said, we haven't seen Roman since like after SummerSlam, and I feel like he was on one SmackDown after SummerSlam. That was the last time we saw him. Ain't seen him since.
I just feel like it's a way to keep these guys as a special attraction, but still get these guys time on TV. Like, he only probably got, like, I heard that, like, I don't know how much this is true, but he only got like 4 dates for the rest of the year.
Who, Roman or Cena?
Roman. 4 for the rest of the year. Are we serious, man?
Survivor Series, obviously.
Yeah, but man, my goodness, 4 for the rest of the year. From now, we in October right now. From October to December, he only gonna show up 4 times. Come on, man.
And obviously, let's point out, so he's only defended the title like what? How many times throughout the year? 3, maybe 4, I think.
Like, man, it getting to the point that, like, man, people who complained about Brock Lesnar, I know y'all got to come out and complain about this man too.
Because, yeah, let's remember, Brock only showed up like barely on TV. He was the champion, and he was only really there for mostly all the big pay-per-views and whatnot. And with Roman, and I go back, and I'll sit there and say this, I still go back what I said months ago. I still feel like they probably should have pulled the trigger at WrestleMania this year and whatnot, because I always felt you could have still done this whole bloodline Civil War stuff without the title, because it wasn't even about the title. Even this thing with him and Jay, it's like, maybe that's why I didn't like that match anyway. It was a lot of reasons why I didn't like that match at SummerSlam. But like, we knew Jay was not gonna win. Y'all could have done this whole leader of the tribal chief thing and all that without the title. Because it's like the title did not matter at that point. It was just about the bloodline Civil War. And I always felt they could have done this whole thing without the belt. But we had to keep adding days. We gotta keep adding days.
Yeah, I know.
And I'll say this too. One other thing, like, I mean, even had this conversation during SummerSlam. Like, people want to say it's the greatest story of all time in wrestling. Like, don't get me wrong, it's been a big story, but even I felt after a while it has started to like, okay, what new stuff can we? Because I feel like there are times where I feel like I think it's just it has dragged to the point where it's even I'm like, all right, what else can we do? And at this point with the title thing, I don't think. Well, I think we all know he probably won't drop the belt till WrestleMania, next year. Even though I was never really down with that idea, but yeah, like you said, this guy hasn't been on TV in 3 months, and he's only got like 4 dates left throughout the year, which is crazy sometimes.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous for real.
And that's why they had to come up with another belt, because like, okay, we're not gonna have this champion on TV, so let's make another belt. And
Yeah,
I even back then I never thought that was really the smartest idea.
it's not the smartest idea. It's not. It's not the smartest.
I always felt like, I think I said this months ago, can we just take one of the belts off of him and then, put one on Raw or something? No, let's create a whole new title belt. Like, what the? So you just create a consolation belt then?
We gotta have somebody pin him for that to happen. And that's the reason why it didn't happen.
Yeah, nobody didn't beat him. And we can't just strip one off of him. So, like, let's create another championship. I'm like, this doesn't really solve the problem.
Nah, it don't solve the problem. It only put a band-aid over the problem.
There you go. So, like, I always feel like this never solved it. It's like, if you're not gonna beat the guy, then what else? But I just at that point in time when they made that new world title, I'm like, so it's the consolation belt then, right? Right? So like,
Yeah,
and I like Seth to an extent, but even I always felt like he was holding the consolation belt.
I mean, you can look at it like that, but at the same time, I think he can make it work, and I think he's making it work.
Yeah, he's making it work. I do believe that he's making it work. He is a main event guy, so he can make it work. It's just like, it's just like we said before, though. It's like it shouldn't have kind of got to making a whole new title belt, and you just should have had Roman get beat, but they didn't want to do that. And like I said, finally he's coming back to TV. I'm like, how long has it been? 3 months? I'm like, God damn. Because like that stuff at SummerSlam wasn't even all that. So we'll see what happens, but it's it just I look at Roman's title reign. It just got to the point where it's like, so yeah. So when's he dropping it again?
We all know when he's about to drop it.
Oh well, yeah,
We
we know when, but I don't think it shouldn't have gone on this long.
it shouldn't, but we hear until the ride falls off.
Yeah, basically. And I feel like I'm only invested into it sometimes. And I'll say this last thing. I know this has been going on around a lot, especially with Seth and everything. Everybody's starting to believe that it's gonna be CM Punk versus Seth for the title when Punk returns, because they feel like they've been throwing out all these hints about CM Punk lately.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, we got to get those two boys on the same page. I really think they can. It ain't AEW, and not and WWE got a good track record of getting those boys to
Well,
wanna.
Seth said he would do business with Punk. He would do business.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely,
He may
he
not
will.
really like him like that, but he's willing to do business though. So like that's one thing we can put out there. So I know a lot of people been putting that hint out there a lot. If you notice the Punk references they've been doing, so that probably could be the case. Because now I will say this too, and I'm assuming this Nakamura feud is over now. Who does Seth face next for the title?
I don't know. I, to be honest with you, man, um, it looked like Damian Priest gonna have to cash in soon. Cause here's the thing, what Steph gonna do right now? Who Steph got?
Yeah, who else? Like any other top heels on Raw that's not
I,
named Gunther?
I'm about to say, damn, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was just about to say Gunther, but other than that, nope.
Because I'm like, yeah, what other really top heels that we got that we can have him go for the title? He already fought Finn. We've already been through that in Judgment Day. Um, I'm trying to see who else. Priest is the only next logical thing, but like I say, he would have to cash in the Money in the Bank though to do that. Anyone else? I'm really trying to think here. Like, who else on Raw is like a top level heel that's not named Gunther?
Right? I don't know. I'm telling you, I kind of confused on the situation.
So yeah, I don't know. And the next pay per view is supposed to be in Saudi, I believe. So I think they announced that too. So all I can say is we'll see. But it's like right now I can't really name anybody.
Yeah, I wish you all though. I can't really name anybody either.
So yeah, that's how I put it. But uh overall though, a very pretty good pay per view. I think the most newsworthy things out of here was Cody and Jay winning the tag team championships. But it was a
Yeah,
pretty loaded event.
yeah, I definitely agree with you. Definitely.
So I enjoyed it, and it was a very good show. I definitely enjoyed it.
I definitely enjoyed that. The night went fast. It kind of, that would let me know that I enjoyed the show because how fast the night went. By the time I looked at my phone, it was already 9:30. I was like, oh man, we already about to go home.
Yep, that's it. It was only 5 matches. Just 5 matches on here. And like I said, the only mostly newsworthy things I could say was Cody and Jay winning the titles, Carlito back again. Main event was pretty good. We saw Jay finally appear on TV. So like I said, it was a good show, and it went by. It went by, and it was done just like that. Boom.
Yeah.
So that's all I really got to say about the pay per view. Other than
Yeah.
that, you got anything to plug?
Not, no, nothing. Just follow me straight face 40 at Twitter. And that's about it.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter at hoodednight890. Like, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Check out TKO Zone if you want to see that top 10 video and whatnot. On WWE Legends, check that out. It's a different channel. So yeah, other than that, out of here. See y'all then, and peace.